This is the Maritime Museum. Looks like a good restaurant, crab claw, but we don't need to do that.
Enjoy your cruise along the beautiful Miles River.
A lot of American flags and British flags.
Not to mention, it's a beautiful spot to enjoy views of the St. Michael's Harbor.
So here on St. Michael's, back in the War of 1812, we were a shipbuilding community, building all kinds of ships here. And what we did a contest with the St. Michael's High School. St. Michael's High School put out a contest for students to come up with a slogan for the town of St. Michael's. And it was Janet Cummings that came up with it in 1963 as the town that fooled the British. It is a bit of talent first, so they'll put their talent out in front of their faces, dive into the water, grab the fish, come out of the water, and sort of shake off their feathers, be out there, land out there, and then we house them. So that is Tillman Point. The Chesapeake Bay has been home to one of the most productive oyster habitats in the world. When European settlers first got here in the 1600s, there was millions and millions of oysters out there. The American oyster industry, earning its nickname Great Shellfish Bay. School for our merchant mariners out there. We're talking about the engineers that are in container ships, oil tankers, other freight boats out there. So these merchant mariners are out there, and they can take classes here. They have all kinds of simulators there. They can simulate harbors. They even have a giant low-speed diesel engine there where you can they can work on that, take it all apart, put it back together. You also see something that looks like a water slide. For 25 years. It's been here for 25 years. Well, what you don't know is it's her grandfather's boat. So grandpa was the guy that had it built for the family in 1926. It's a family heirloom.
Why they're flying British flags. In the War of 1812, the Brits were headed down this way, and so they thought they'd fake the British out by flying all of these British flags. Well, it worked. And the Brits said, oh, these are loyalists here. We won't burn their town, we won't attack. So they're still flying them. However, a couple weeks later, they figured that that was not the case, that they were being fooled, and so they came down again. Well, this time, the locals put lanterns up high in the trees and on roofs of houses and anything that was up high, church spires. And so the Brits at night saw all these lanterns, thought they were in people's houses, when in fact they were way up high. So the Brits overshot the town and didn't destroy it again, and then they gave up and went away. Okay, here's Mount Vernon from the water, the Potomac River. We'll go get a close-up this afternoon. The tourist boat coming into dock. Over here we do have a dock. I'll bet there was a dock there in George Washington's day and before. And then it's up the hill to the house. Here's a few of the beautiful homes we see along the shores of the Potomac, headed towards Alexandria. And here's Alexandria. shabby either. No houses up here. My guess is at some sort of a park. It's our first view of Washington. There's a Ferris wheel. Another huge big building. We're going to go under this bridge. Washington, D.C. is still in the distance. Another airplane taking off. I've seen several. They must be coming from Reagan National. I'm sure that tall structure over there is a Masonic temple. Nice little house. Wonder if it was a lighthouse. We are going under this bridge. Fishing pier over here. And over here I've seen several people riding their bikes. Protection for the bridge. That ships don't go crashing into the bridge. I've never seen that kind of protection on a bridge. Welcome to Virginia. Coming into Alexandria. I'm sure the downtown has preserved its colonial atmosphere. Maybe some colonial atmosphere, but obviously there's a lot of modern buildings too. And there's an old-fashioned riverboat.
In that area here, but its impact outside initial explosion area was really quite large. And actually the big issue with the meteorite today is that where this thing hit here, it gave a big old hole. Funny how that works, huh? And it provides most of the fresh water that feeds this portion of the Chesapeake Bay. Really very important in terms of underwater fresh water. So 35 million years ago is where the story of the Chesapeake starts. And as I say, that's really quite significant over the last few years.